Mazhar Chachar says there was an assassination attempt on Mr. Imran Khan during his long march. Who do you think was behind this assassination attempt? And where do you see Pakistan in the next 10 years, keeping in view the current political and economic crisis? And Bye Bye says, what's your take on Imran Khan being shot at or shot? Was that a false flag, or was it like a real assassination attempt? Do you think he is the one going to prove the temporary nation future? Okay, who do I think was behind the assassination attempt? Was this a false flag operation, or was it a genuine assassination attempt? Um, it's hard to tell, but see, if you look at what happened to Benazir Bhutto, it was a very similar kind of situation. She was doing this public rally and she was shot in the head by somebody at almost nearly point blank range. Somebody just walked up to her and shot her in the head. I think there were multiple gunshots, and then there was a bomb blast as well to create confusion. So something similar seems to have happened in the case of Mr. Imran Khan, right? Now, if if you are a professional assassin, you're not gonna miss from close range. And if you're standing on the ground and you're firing at somebody who's on a higher level than you, you're not going to end up shooting that person in the leg, which kind of makes it look fishy. That why was he only shot in the leg? I mean, the when a person, when a person is shot in battle or in any other situation, the odds are that that person will be shot in the torso, the chest, or in the abdomen, because that is the largest part of the body. The arms and legs are very much smaller targets. So if you're shot in that, it's kind of fishy. It's like somebody wanted to shoot you there only so that you don't get, you know killed. Typically, if you're shot in the arm or the leg, you'll survive that. You will lose blood and you may need an operation. You may need corrective surgery to your bone or whatever, in case it is clipped. But overall, it's not a fatal wound. So either this was a false flag operation to make it look like somebody wants to kill him and maybe to garner sympathy for him. That is one possible scenario. The other possibility is that the assassin was an amateur, and that person or persons genuinely goofed up, and Mr. Imran Khan got lucky. These are the two possibilities. I don't know who could be behind the assassination attempt. Obviously, he is the former prime minister. He was evicted, ousted, which cannot happen without the connivance and the approval of the Pakistani deep state, which is the ISI and the army, mainly the army and the ISI, and also the foreign the foreign ministry, or whatever, the bureaucracy, the permanent establishment. So Mr. Imran Khan was removed from power. This removal could only have been done with the approval of the Pakistani army, ISI, and deep state. And we know the shift that's happened in Pakistan. For the last decade or so, they were calling China their iron brother. But now you are seeing a resurgence of interest in Pakistan from the US. And the US has way deeper pockets and a much bigger stick than the Chinese do, which means that Pakistan is now a proper US vassal state all over again. So, so most likely, the odds are that Mr. Imran Khan was removed from power at the behest of the US. It all happened after his visit to Russia on the same day that Mr. Putin launched the invasion of Ukraine, which was very bad optics. Yeah, and maybe that was all done on purpose to make it easier for the Pakistanis to remove Imran Khan or whatever. So in case the deep state, the army, the ISI views Mr. Imran Khan as a long-term threat to their ambitions and to their plans, then maybe they want to eliminate him. That's a possibility. And maybe it's being done at the behest of some foreign powers also, perhaps. Who knows? So that is one possibility. The other possibility is that this was some local disgruntled element who wanted to kill Mr. Imran Khan. Maybe that person was an amateur, or maybe this was something done by from sources close to Mr. Imran Khan himself, perhaps, to perhaps garner sympathy for him among the Pakistani Awam, the Pakistani Janta, the population. These are three possibilities that I can think of. I don't know which one is correct. Some possibilities have a higher probability, but we're not quite sure, and most likely we won't know. But he has survived, and good for him. Good for him. So yeah, And the other question is, where do I see Pakistan in the next 10 years, keeping in view the current political and economic crisis? See, Pakistan was created to divide the people of the Indian subcontinent. It was created by the UK to further its geopolitical long term ambitions. And that's what it was. And once the crown was passed on from the UK to the US has used Pakistan to further its geostrategic objectives in the Indian subcontinent region and overall in Eurasia. One trouble spot is the Middle East, which is permanently in crisis. The other trouble spot they have created, the West, is the Indian subcontinent, which is divided artificially, and where all these tensions are periodically inflamed. So the India Pakistan thing has always been there since 1947, 1948, right? So as long as these powerful nations, essentially the US, earlier it was China, as long as the US sees Pakistan as a valuable asset, as long as that happens, Pakistan will continue to exist. If the US loses interest, then maybe the Chinese will take over. So essentially, Pakistan has been created by foreign powers to divide India, and it has been propped up ever since. The various military dictatorships, these dictatorships have been propped up and sustained by foreign powers. The moment foreign powers stop sustaining Pakistan, Pakistan will implode. The problem is that it's a nuclear armed state. We don't want to have a nuclear armed Somalia, chaos. That's the last thing we want. I think, yeah. So that's the situation. So I think as long as the US props up the Pakistanis, Pakistan will survive, will keep on existing. The people will survive somehow, and the army and the ISI and all the top brass will keep getting richer. They will buy properties in London, in the US. They will send their children to study there, and they will have fat bank accounts over there. And when the time is right, they will leave the country. So as long as the foreign nations, foreign powers keep on propping up Pakistan, it will exist. Will this go on for the next 10 years? Perhaps. Odds are that Pakistan may not survive 10 years. Like I've said so many times, I have nothing against the people of Pakistan. I wish them well. I wish them prosperity. I wish their children and their descendants prosperity and safety. But Pakistan is a terrorist nation. And this nation needs to be dealt with appropriately, hopefully without any military force, without any violence, hopefully. But yeah, that's what it is. It's a terrorist nation. It's been the epicenter of global terrorism for the longest time, since the 1980s at least. So Pakistan needs to be dealt with. Maybe it may last 10 years, but its long term survival is highly, highly improbable.